So hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So what I have here today, yet again another Toyota review. So what I have here today is the 2023 Toyota Veloz G variant. So this is the base model of the Veloz here in the Philippines, and I already did a walk around tour exactly a year ago. So link of that will be in the description down below. I couldn't pass the opportunity of reviewing this again because I want to drive it, because I did a V test drive review already around May of last year too. So I want to see if the G variant with minus all the Toyota safety sense features will make the driving dynamics a little bit better, since I'm not sure if the weight will make a difference, but let's see on that. Still, powering this thing is a 1.5 liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine that produces 106 horsepower and 138 Newton meters of torque, and the torque figures among the lowest in its class. So I understand all the feedback from the people that it's not that torquey at all. And from an owner as well, thank you, he's behind the camera too. On his experience, I said this before a year ago with this flap here. I mean, it's already almost getting out. So if I were to buy one, I would remove this straight away. But the ground clearance itself, it's still 190 millimeters, which is alright too. And on the side profile, exactly the same. Not much changes too, apart from the camera over here. You only have a reverse camera for this G variant. It's almost been a year since I reviewed the Toyota Veloz, so there's a little bit of a price increase now. And between both variants now, the top of the line and this base model, there's a bit of a price difference now. So before, the price gap was only 40,000 pesos. So now, this one costs 1,210,000 pesos. So there's now a 55,000 peso difference. So let's see if this is a little bit more worth it. And yeah, without further ado, let's go to the interior. It's locked. Okay na yan. I'll keep that in na. So this is the interior of the 2023 Toyota Veloz G. Sounds exactly the same like before. This owner is so big. There you go. His sitting position is all the way back. Here in the interior, it is exactly the same like a year ago. I mean, not much changes here. So again, quick walkthrough with this interior. In the door, card plastic here and there, and then leather soft pads for your elbow. So this is what I like too with the Veloz before. So you have a two-tone setup in the interior, like a black and whitish creamish style over here. And my favorite feature here, along too with the all-new Toyota Avanza, the cup holders on the left. They don't fit my big water jug, but it's a perfect place for my phone. And surprising too, with this Toyota Veloz G variant, it still has the wireless charging pad, which perfectly fits my phone. And then here in the center console, you have your gear shift, auto hold function, electronic parking brake, and as well I forgot to mention, this still is mated to a dual CVT, which I praised a lot too with the Toyota Raze and the Toyota Veloz V. And I wanna try it again, the manual mode, because I never tried the manual mode in the Veloz V, because as you know from last year, that was a very rushed review. So anyway, back here in the steering wheel, exactly the same. You have your instrument cluster adjustments on the left side and your phone connectivity buttons on the right side. So I can confirm this still has the drive modes over here on the right side of the steering wheel. I remember in the V, if not mistaken, the drive modes were somewhere here in the center console itself. Below the infotainment system, you have your air conditioning controls, safety reminders, and here's the biggest difference too with this G variant against the V is that you have a smaller 8-inch infotainment system. Well, it's only an inch shorter than the V variant, but still you have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Reverse camera, it's pretty decent. I don't mind it. And yet again, like what I said earlier, this does not have any more a 360-degree camera, and along with Toyota safety sense. So my friend right there is just watching me outside. He hilariously tried to run me over with this Veloz G. So there's an advantage to that. Just kidding. Don't try that anywhere at all, please guys. Like with the V variant, at least you still have an all digital instrument cluster, and I like the colors too with it. I don't remember the colors there because yeah, it's been a while since I've driven one. The right side of the interior, it's two-tone black and cream over here. You still have the Veloz badge over here. Glove box, always lonely. And then center console box, this one's still leather. I didn't remember that from before. Okay, he can fit a lot of stuff. He's really lonely. And then the seats are, I know, leather because it's covered with this fabric cover. Yeah, it's still leather mixed with fabric in the middle. So at least it still keeps the traditional seats from the V variant. And since we're here already, let's talk about the second row. You have a pop-out cup holder in the center stock, and then further down below you have 2 USB ports. This one's equipped still with the central armrest, and like along with the Avanza models, you have the air conditioning vents up above, and further behind there's an air conditioning knob, since this has a longer wheelbase than that of the Avanza. So I'll show you a clip from a year ago. Yeah, I have no issues with the space here whatsoever. And in the third row, I don't mind it too. And there again, you can fold all the seats down but keep the third row up. And as well, what I like too with the Veloz, the boot space is amazing in here. I mean, look at all the stuff here with the third row down. So imagine with all of the seats down too. So yeah, that's a quick walkthrough of this interior. Let's go for a dive. Wait, one more thing. I don't remember this from a year ago. Remove view. There's a USB port over here along with an extra storage. So very similar like with a Mitsubishi Expander. But ironically, the USB port's only located here on the passenger side. Let's go. So finally, driving this Toyota Veloz G. Well, gotta be honest, it feels exactly the same like with the V-Van. Yeah, there's a little bit of weight difference, but if you're an average Joe, you won't mind the weight difference whatsoever. And here, power mode and manual mode. Not bad. The suspension, so you know that route there from coming from Shell all the way here to BMW Green Hills. The suspension of this is pretty good, I have to say. Then visibility all around, not too bad too. Okay, it may not have the most amount of torque in its class, but it gets up to speed pretty quickly. I mean, the power deficit though against the competition. So this is only 6 horsepower less than the Stargazer because I just drove that little yesterday. Okay, I gotta be honest though, this Veloz feels a little bit more peppier. I don't know why. Maybe it's because of the DCVT transmission. I don't know why. It feels like you're driving an automatic transmission. I mean, look, I'll shift down. It feels like it's imitating an automatic transmission. And one thing I didn't know from the V variant, okay, so in the drive modes, you can actually put power mode and activate eco mode at the same time, or vice versa. So that's actually in case you're in eco mode and you want a bit more power, hence it's called power mode. So it's kind of like a boost function. And according to the owner too, his experience with this Veloz G, why they didn't get the V van is because they don't need the safety bits anyway. Okay, I will agree with one statement, their lane departure warning, whatever it's called. Yeah, I really found that intuitive in the RAV4 hybrid. Yeah, it was one of the most intuitive systems that I encountered so far. And I understand why they got this G-Van, because it's just me doing everything. And like my friend as well did earlier, tried to run me over. So that's the advantage of this G-Van. You can hoon around with your friends if you want. Within eco mode and the power mode, I don't see any difference with the steering feel. It's light, but I gotta say it has a little bit more heft than the Stargazer. Against the competition though, I would still consider this against an Expander, because it's still a Toyota. And look at just this alone. The power is not too bad at all. So as well, the owner's experience with the fuel economy here. Well, with my driving alone, I've been doing 7.5 kilometers per liter. You can do at least 8 to 9 kilometers per liter if you're light-footed, unlike me. And on highway speeds, you can get around 18. I think even some owners have reached around 20 kilometers per liter. Here over metal sheet. Okay, the NVH. Yeah, I would say the Expander, the Stargazer, is a bit better, but this one is not too bad at all. I would say it improved from what I would say the older Avanzas, which this is based on. And this as well being a Toyota, these are already common in our roads. I would say that this Veloz is even more common than that of the newer Avanzas, as well because of the price difference and more of the safety bits. And then here now in EDSA. Okay, so humps and bumps pretty well. Yeah, there's a little bit of tire noise, but that's given in its class. Here at the speed limit of EDSA 60 kph. rides exactly the same like with all of the MPVs in its class. Although the steering is really light, so I understand why some people have fun driving this over in the twisties. However, if you're alone though, but of course I have 3 other people riding along in this car now, it doesn't feel underpowered at all. Although I did see some videos and reviews alone, and ownership experience too, that you have to watch out if you're carrying a full all the seats, 7 people, and you're going uphill, so you have to watch out for that. And that's the only MPV I heard so far that has a bit of a problem going uphill. But if you're here around in the city only, you won't have an issue. And the brakes, not too mushy. This has better brake feel than the Stargazer. I would say it's almost as good as the Mitsubishi Expander. So that concludes my quick review of this Toyota Veloz G. I'd like to thank my friend and the owner over here, and along with my other friends here in the back. So I'd like to thank them so much, and hope you guys like and subscribe. And I will see you with more Toyota reviews coming up on my channel. Bye bye.